Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 4 of my Satisfactory Let's Play for Update 6 and beyond. Now in the last episode, we built the fundamentals of an iron resource refinery, and that's what we've got in front of us right here. And this place, despite how it looks, puts us in a great position to move through the next couple of milestones fairly quickly, and to also get our space elevator up and running, which will allow us to push to the next tier of milestones, getting things like fluid dynamics, coal power, vehicles, all of these good things right at our fingertips. Now, in between episodes, I've actually taken the liberty to add a to-do list on the right side of the screen with 7 objectives that we can do in this very episode. And that way, I think it'll just focus me up a bit more just to do the task at hand one by one. Now, I've also, in between episodes, read all of the feedback from the first 3 and done a little exploring myself on YouTube at the recommendation of several people in the comments. I looked at channels like I'm Kibitz, which I'd never heard of, awesome channel, big Satisfactory guy, and also Total X Clips, I think is how you say that other guy's channel. And basically both of them are great, big Satisfactory players, also do a few other games like City Skylines, things like that. And essentially I've had my mind blown with the complexity and the beauty that you can really achieve in this game. So I definitely recommend checking out those channels. But also, it's taught me a bunch. I've just looked up some guides just to get a bit more familiar with the game. Now, I've played the game a decent amount, but there's always things to learn. And that's why I love doing series and stuff on games I really enjoy, because people will always find you and tell you, hey, you could be doing this, you could be doing this. And you just learn so much about the game. Anyway, the first thing in our objective right here is moving the hub to power, right? So I'm just hooking that up. It comes with 2 biomass burners built into it. So I've just moved it from over there to right here, connected it to power. We'll just add some biofuel into it. Also, between episodes, I've gone around, gathered some vegetation, thrown it into the constructors we have, and it's just making biofuel for us now, sort of automatically, to keep us going throughout the rest of this episode. So now that that's done, let's just go to the to-do list, mark that as finished, and there we go. And we'll get to the next one. So the next one is to adjust our iron plates splitters. So some of the comments that I saw on episode 3 specifically was that I hadn't really added up my numbers here quite correctly, and it's mostly down to one fundamental flaw I wasn't really thinking about, which is that splitters split evenly, right? So we have 2 constructors here. They're making iron plates, 20 per minute each one, right? So 20 comes out, 20 comes out, that gets merged. So this belt is 40, and then what do? I split it back into 20 and 20. So the idea was that this is taking 30, and the excess 10 would go in there. And that's technically true. If I just left this long enough, eventually that kind of would happen. This box would get backlogged, and then the rest would go in here. So it kind of would work, but it's not the way to do it. So let's fix it. Let's get rid of all this. And we can fix it very quickly. It's just a silly little mistake for me, and I did the same with the screws. So I'll just fix that, and hopefully won't make that mistake going forward. I'm sure I will, but we'll try not to. Also, just want to say thanks for all the support. The comments are really, really positive for the series. So I just want to say thank you. It's so awesome that, well, basically that I'm able to play a game I really love and people seem to enjoy it. So that's really great. And also, like I said, I really do appreciate the feedback on these things. Now, I'm just going to open up the logistics. We're going to add organization. This one to number 5. And then I've got everything else bound. So number 5, there we go. Yeah, sorry. So what I was going to say as well, though, is while the feedback has been great, there just hasn't been that many comments. You know, we've got thousands of viewers, even on episode 3. A couple of thousand anyway. It'd be great to see more comments. Not even for the YouTube algorithm or anything, but I'd just like to hear what people think, you know, and what I could do better, or what they'd like to see more of, or less of. Because we only get about 20 or 30 comments. And when you got 2,000, it's not like I expect 2,000, but it would be great to hear from more people. If you feel like you have the time or the wherewithal to add some feedback, I'd appreciate it. Alright, so adding a splitter here. So we're just simply splitting the 20 that's coming out of this into 10, right? 10 is going that way now. And then we've got the rest here. So let's go with a conveyor merger. And we'll put this merger roughly about here and in line. Okay, hopefully that makes a bit more sense. We'll climb up this and have a look at what's just happened. So, effectively, we now have 20 being split into 10 and 10. 10 is the excess going off there. and then 10 comes this way and gets merged with the 20 and goes in here for 30. So now it's right. That's all that was wrong, but that makes it correct. Same, but different. So we're going to do the same for the screws. The very similar thing is happening with the screws. So let's just mark that off on our to-do list. So that's done. Iron plates have been adjusted. Next, we have to adjust the screws splitter. So let's do the same down here. So effectively, what needs to happen here is I think 100 has to go into this assembler. Yep, 100 per minute. And then 60 has to go up. So let's just work that out. We'll just get rid of some of the mergers and splitters here. I think each one of these makes 20, or no, sorry, 40 comes out of each constructor. So it should be a pretty easy job. Don't know why I got so confused or bogged down with it last time. It's like a really straightforward problem. Alright, that should be that. Let's just get rid of this as well. Okay, cool. Blank canvas. So, what we need to do is basically just split this. Split one of these. Which one will I do? So 40, 40, and then we'll split this one then. So let's just go put it in line right around here. And then we'll add mergers every other bit. And they're going out to the right. And another merger here. Alright, fairly simple. And that's a splitter. So that's going to split 40 into 20. And this will have 40, so that's 60. Just like that. So then what we'll do is add a merger. And this merger will come out facing towards us. And then we'll add in a belt thing that goes up. Yeah, I'll do that from up above actually in a moment. The other thing I want to do is close that off. There we go. Alright, so let's hook these all up. This should basically just work fine. We will have to speed up one of the belts though, because we are going to be handling more than 60. So that's 40 plus 40 plus 20. So that's our 100. And then we have 40 split to 20 plus 40, which is 60, which is what we need for upstairs. Perfect. Alright, we did it. So, well, not quite perfect. The only other thing then we need to do is actually switch this to a conveyor mark belt 2. So this is a belt 2, right? That's already belt 2. This isn't though. Is that correct? Was that already hooked up? Just like that? I guess so. Alright. That should do it. That's actually a little overkill, but that should work. So everything's belt 2 now, so that means we're filled. I'm just gonna, I feel like this isn't correct. Let me just get rid of that. It must be though. I'll just re-put this down. I just don't remember doing that. There we go. It's just definitely belt 2 now, just in case it wasn't. So that means now we are filtering in 100 smoothly. So we have to go upstairs. Now I'm just going to get rid of this, and I'll build a little mini makeshift ladder. I'll just use it out of stacking poles. And I'll pop it somewhere just around here. Stack it all the way up. And I'll just provide us a ladder to get upstairs temporarily for a little while. Alright, cool. So, reinforced plates. So basically we need to get that 60 screws to come up here. So they're coming out down there. Bring it right up. Turn it around. Something like this. Is that straight? And there we go. Because it handles 60, we only need the one conveyor belt, right? Mark 1. We're totally fine. So there we go. That's that fixed. So now we've just basically... It's just a nice way to make sure everything's working as evenly as possible. And if we get any excess, then it's either being put in a box or being... is something we can grab later. So we'll just grab these plates for now. Alright, good. Our inventory is actually full. But looking good. Things are just a little smoother now. So, the next one then is to actually go ahead and make smart plating. And also modular frames. The way we do that is by adding 2 more assemblers, which I plan to add just roughly around here. Somewhere like out here. So, do I need to come in any closer? I don't know. Nah, it's fine. Factory must grow. Alright, cool. So, this one is going to be modular frames. And that's going to take 3 reinforced plates and 12 rods. And this one is going to be smart plating, which is the first material or product that's going to go into the space elevator. And that's going to take also some reinforced plates and also rotors. Now rotors we make right here. So we're just going to feed that in on the left. So that's that done. Straight away done. And the next thing is we make the plates up here. So I'm just going to do this. And that way we can just bring the plates down and into here rather easily. Should we do that first? Yeah, I guess I'll do that first. Okay then, so let's climb up. And then we'll get our rods going. Just going to feed this along this way and turn it at the seam. Yeah, good. Alright, so that's our reinforced plates. So we want that to come down, and we'll stack them onto conveyor belts poles. So these poles, that's what I just built as the ladder. So 1, 2, in like that, and 2 stacks should be the same height as what we're dealing with. Something like this. Want to get this out of the way of that though, so about there maybe. In fact, actually I don't need the one on the right, thinking about it. I'll get rid of that in a second. So this is going to come out this way. Okay, I think that's basically it. I don't even know if I need that, thinking about it. So this is basically going to need this. This comes down and it'll sit on the... yeah. So it's just to judge the height, really. That's, I think, where it needs to be. Does it need to be there? No, here. Yeah. So I'll just get rid of that. Sorry, I built it a bit too close. It's alright, though. Just copy and paste this over. Well, that just needs to be a splitter. I don't really need this here. I just think it'll look a bit better if I have it. Okay, there we go. The plates are coming down. So now we just need a splitter, and we can hold control just to align it. And slam that right there. And then this will just come out and connect in. So there we go. Reinforced plates being split now between the two machines. Now, this doesn't quite work out, I don't think, as properly as it could. I mean, it basically does. This takes 3 plates per minute, and this takes 2, I think? Yeah, 2. And basically we make 5. So those 5 are being split. I mean, it's as good as you can, without splitting it into literally 5 belts and just merging 2 and 3. Like, I can't be bothered doing that. But that would be the way to do it if you want to be really correct about it. Maybe in future. So I'm waiting on getting the awesome shop. And that's going to allow us to have a really nice look, a bit of a nicer looking factory. Nothing too crazy, not like I was talking about earlier with those other YouTube channels, but pretty good. It'll take a while before we unlock a lot of the really good stuff in there, so we can make really great looking factories. But certainly we'll have a lot more customization with what we want to do. We can change the floors to concrete. We can have basically power lines relatively hidden, things like that, you know. So I'm waiting until once we get all the production chains lined up and they're just working efficiently, then I can reorganize the factory later into something that looks a bit better and just produces some sort of end product. Not to say that I'm just putting things down willy-nilly now. I'm trying to make it look relatively neat, easy to follow and get around, that kind of thing. But just know that this is not its final form, I guess is what I'm saying. Now that's interesting. This isn't I mean, it works, but it looks like it shouldn't. It didn't look like it was going all the way in. Anyway, so the last thing to do is then get this to receive iron rods. Now we can already start making the smart plating, so let's just get back to power. There we go. Put a power pole down between these two and hook that up to this one. And there we go. Alright, so iron rods is the last thing to do. So what I was thinking of doing was just adding 2 more of these. 2 more constructors. We need more rods, basically. Can't do it with the amount we have. So there's 2 more right there. And then we'll get a splitter. Like this. Alright, great. And this smelter can now be active. I've done something wrong here. Sweet. Alright, good. Alright, there we go. So that's going to get split in between these two. We'll turn these to rods, and then we just need to power them. Oh, also, we'll also have these cool walkways and stuff, so we can walk above our factory or walk around it, have conveyor belts running along the walls, have holes in the walls for conveyor belts, all of that good stuff. Now, we want to hook these up to power. So that one can go that one, this one can go this one. So they're going to be working now, but we're not hooked up to the actual, I guess, iron line, as it were. So just get rid of all this. So iron still needs to go in there, but also needs to go over there now. So it's a bit of an awkward problem, but shouldn't be too bad. I think I've got an idea. Yeah, so how I'm going to do this is we'll just drag this out. 1, 2. And that'll just pull and then go up to this one. Yeah. And then we'll just bring that across. Like, I don't know, somewhere right there. Is that okay? That seems fine. Yeah, it's not clipping with anything. It looks good. Alright, well, it looks okay. Okay, so, yeah, basically we just need to add our splitters and mergers and then we're good to go. This will be the final one for this. I know we've been dealing with these a lot, but this should be the last time doing it for a little while. Don't know why there's 2 lines appearing with that one. Is that lined up? Seems okay. Alright, that's all the iron going right into here. So we'll need to bring it up to here, add a splitter right there. Okay, so so 2 extra iron facilities, so that makes 15 each. So that's 30 extra coming along this way, and then that's going to be split. I think it's a total of 50 when combined with the other stuff. So 50, because it would be 60, but this takes 10, so trust me on it. I think 50 are on this belt by the end. So 50, so it should be like 25 going that way, 25 coming this way. This needs 20, and I think over here only needs something like 10 or 11 or something unusual. 12. So, you know, we've got too much. We could have it split better and store it up somewhere, but this is totally fine, I think. A little bit of excess of rods storing, you know, backing up in the machine. I'm not too worried about that. It's more the kind of the higher tier goods that you want to make sure that aren't going to waste anywhere and are always running. Granted, you want everything to be always running, but like I said, with a little redesign, things might be a bit better. So I'm just going to climb up. We can have a look over what we've just done. We've just made smart plating and modular frames, essentially, by doing that. So our reinforced plates go from here, all along here, down the tube, down the elevator. I'll fix that in a second. And then they go this way, get split into both machines. We have our rotors going from that assembler into this one, and then we've got the extra pipes coming across. So basically, yeah, this is just slightly misaligned. Just want to fix that. Bothers me a little bit, so we'll just fix it. And then we'll get to our next job. We'll tick this off the list. It's been very efficient today. It helps to have a plan. People are like, oh my god, you're not efficient at all. And there we go. Better. Making use of the 2 stacks of the conveyor poles. I always like doing that when those things can like connect up. Alright, good. So these should operate at 100%. I did see a comment of someone saying like, oh, I think you're getting a bit too bogged down focusing on getting things at 100%. But it's to pay off in the long term. When you don't have problems at the beginning along your chains. And this is the beginning. It definitely pays off in the long term, and you'll see now that we'll be able to advance the next few milestones really quickly. So there's our first smart plating. I'm just going to grab these rotors. There's no need for so many to be stuck in there. So just pull them out. That's the excess. We make 4, 2 are needed. We're not storing any, so again, you could have, I guess, why not just do it now? We could just make a box for that, right? Split it and let them store in a box so that we don't have to collect from the machine. Be the last splitter of the day. So Yeah, I feel like that I didn't hook that up properly. This sometimes happens with me. I don't know why. I held control, but it doesn't always put itself on the belt properly. Anyway, it's on it now. So excess rotors are just going to be stored in here. So there we go. Let's just fix that. All right, let's toggle that off the to-do list. All right, now we've got to switch our power to biomass. So I estimated by around this time, we're not making biofuel anymore because I've run out of biomass. But I've got tons of leaves that need to be turned into biomass, so I'm going to switch it. It's an easy one to do. So this basically just needs to go from making biofuel to making just biomass, because we've got tons of leaves in here now. Thousands that are just going to be piling in, making it turn into biomass, and then we'll reroute them back around to do the same thing again. But we should have plenty of fuel for quite a while. Although actually I do remember one of these is low. Just bear with me for a second while I just find out which one is the one that's low. Actually, you know what? I don't even have any space in the inventory. Saving it for a bunch of other stuff we need to do. So switch power to biomass. That's effectively done. Alright. So, next thing is making the awesome shop. So let's finish off the next milestone, which is Resource Sync Bonus Program. This gives us the awesome sync shop, color cartridges, and the gun upgrade for the customizer, so we can actually change the color of things. So let's go. We've got everything we need. Well, that's interesting.
Milestone reached.
Well, anyway.
You have been given early access to the Anti-Waste Effort for Stress Testing of Materials on Exoplanets bonus program. Funneling parts into the awesome resource sink, depending on their amount and complexity, will grant you coupons in the awesome store, which can be exchanged for bonus rewards. Examples of bonus content are parts, walls, factory attachments, and cosmetics. Fixit is working hard to develop additional options, which will be added to the awesome store in the future. Go that extra kilometer. Go awesome.
Alright, we have our awesome sink and our awesome shop. So the shop doesn't need to be powered, but the sink does. And effectively what this is a giant recycler. And you can have multiple of them, as far as I know. So what we need to do is just hook up a box to this. Relatively straightforwardly, like this. And we'll give it a Mark II conveyor belt. So basically whatever I put in here will go into there and just get recycled, and what gets made is coupons, and we use these coupons to then buy a bunch of different things inside the Fixit shop. So you can have sort of prestige things to say like, hey, I've done it, 1,000 tickets will get you the golden nut, or you can actually just get straight up resources if you want. I don't know why you'd ever want to do that. Equipment, you can get little things that you can mess around with. The customizer, so we can change our factory floor to concrete, which has a different look and sound, and then it also will require, if you click into it, when you're changing it, it's not just like, oh, skin it something different. We do actually need concrete to make the foundations look different. Then we get different types of foundations, different corners and bits and pieces and all that stuff to make more complicated architecture. Architecture tab then has different things for rooftops, railing, catwalks, ladders, etc. Big pillars. Then there's the attachments, right? The conveyor lift hole. So instead of actually just having lifts going up and around foundations, we can have them go straight through them with a conveyor hole, and then we can actually put them on the walls. We can have hyper tubes for us getting around, piping, and the wall outlets. So we can have a double outlet, so we can stick an outlet on the outside and just feed power through it. We don't need any poles anymore. I've never actually seen anything to do with Power Mark II or Power Mark III. I've never made it that far in the game. Then we've got our conveyor walls, doors, etc., and organization. Yeah, I've seen this in the builds of those YouTubers I was talking about. You can apparently have signs. I actually don't know how these work, but I'm assuming you either upload a picture or you could just configure the sign in a certain way to display words and stuff. I'm not too sure about that, but it looks great in some more advanced builds I've seen, and then lighting and things like that. So the trick with this thing is that every ticket gets more and more expensive with each thing. So if we just put something in as an example, we'll just put in limestone and iron. It's just some wood. Just let it all go in there. We'll see the machine activate, start grinding it all up. And like I said, these are power-wise, they're quite expensive to maintain. It's 40 megawatts. I think it said, right? 30 megawatts. This is free, so 30. Still quite a lot though. Just for comparison, let's check how I don't need to run over to it, actually, thinking about it. I was going to say, look how much an assembler is. It's only 15. So for 2 assemblers, this is basically 2 assemblers. Also, we've now got our customizer. So what we can do is just change the color of anything. So you're given a bunch of swatches that you can edit and change their colors. So you can literally just specify the A and the B color, or the prime and the secondary color. And we can just paint things like instantly for free. You can also then, the reason it's a swatch is because if I painted a bunch of things that kind of bluey color, and then I said later down the line I wasn't happy with it and I wanted to change it, instead of having to go back through every building, you can just change it here. So let's just change it from blue to, like, I don't know, puke green. And there we go. It just changes like automatically. It's a really great feature. But also you could do a custom one. So if you want to just custom paint something, you can do that. Now changing this, well, that obviously wouldn't have changed it anyway, but changing this won't change the building. That is just like it's a one and done kind of thing. Actually looks pretty cool in black. Maybe we'll leave it black. So yeah, so just thought I'd show that. That's kind of cool. And then also when you get the materials though, those are the ones that will actually cost you different things. Either it be concrete or whatever. And I think that's where the color cartridges come in a bit later. We'll see, I'm sure, when it happens. I paint that a different color. We could. You have to paint the whole foundation thing. I like blue and yellow and blue and white. White and blue, actually. White with blue trim, I think would look quite nice, so we might do that. And we can paint all our foundations here, for instance. Or our walls and foundations. So a lot of customization can be done. You could actually paint every single like machine based on what it does, right? This is an iron factory. We could paint the whole thing a sort of a silvery blue if you wanted to kind of represent the color of iron. Obviously you could just go with gray, but just to look a little bit better, you could be like, yeah, kind of a lightish blue might look good for this facility. And then you know, you could kind of tailor that a bit more with, hey, these ones make screws, so they come out, they look blue, obviously, right? So you could have like a deeper blue for the screw machines, just so you can see that from afar, and then the assemblers could be different. So it's pretty cool. It's great how you can like really customize the look and feel of the factory and like recognize things at a glance. I'll probably leave it for a little while until we get a bit more stuff. So we barely made a dent in our actual tickets there and how much we're going to get for the next coupon. Obviously things like raw materials don't do very much, right? You know, 3 copper going in here, it's not really going to move the needle very much. But things that will move the needle will be more complicated things. So we could throw in 69 rotors and just see how much that does for us. So it's 850. I think it's something like 200 for each one, or yeah, maybe 150. I know that the smart plating that we're creating right now, I think each one is worth 500. So that's really good, but it could take a while. And then we're getting coupons. And what we do is we just print them out, grab our coupon, and we go to the awesome shop, and then we can buy things. So I'm going to wait for a little while until we store up maybe 10 or 15, and then I'll buy a bunch together and we can start using them in the next episode. Alright, so that's the awesome shop done. The next thing is the space elevator. So that's done. So let's make the awesome shop. So space elevator. We're flying ahead. I'm way ahead of schedule. I only have 7 objectives. I guess we could also activate the space elevator and get done with the final tier. So there's our space elevator. It is huge, absolutely massive. Can't even see the top of it when we're placing it, but we're a bit short. So let me just add it to the UI as something that we need to get. So we need more rods. We need about a couple hundred more rods and some more concrete. So I know that there should be rods backed up in here. We'll just grab those. And there's probably rods backed up here. Let's grab those. So we've got all our rods. The next thing then would be grabbing concrete. Now someone also told me when I'm just running like this that you can crouch jump. It's kind of like to slide. So basically you can slide and then jump, and it gives you a little bit of momentum. And if you time it quickly enough, if you do the crouch and then just immediately jump, you just get a boost of a jump. People are saying to do that to get across places quicker. I've actually known about that. I've always thought like it would be a bit jarring just like sliding and jumping like constantly. I don't know, for a viewing experience. But I'll do it when I can, when I feel like it's appropriate to do it. But of course we can get jump pads and jump around pretty soon as well. Actually, we've got another milestone to do. Maybe we should do that milestone first. The thing just came back, so let's do that first, and then we'll build the space elevator last. So jump pads, that is our final milestone. So we've done all of tier 1, almost all of tier 2. We needed 50 rotors, so there's 50. 300 plates, and 150 cables. Alrighty.
Milestone reached. Several buildings aimed at factory traversal can now be accessed in the build menu. Caution is recommended during use of these products.
Okay, so with that, I think we have, is it logistics, organization, power, foundations, walls, and transport. There we go. Transportation tab has been unlocked. We've got jump pads. So effectively, these do exactly what you think they would, which is just launch you up to a certain area. We could position it like, I don't know, somewhere here, and that would get us up to the second floor. Oh, sorry. Oh, you can tilt them. Oh my god, I never knew that. That's actually great. Yeah, we'll just do that. There we go. Now, it needs to be powered. I think it's 5 megawatts, so it's quite low power. Also, speaking of low power, this one's out of power. Let's just add some biofuel to it. So how much is here? 102. Let's just grab 102. So someone also told me in the comments, if we hold Alt and then right-click and drag, we can split stacks. I was saying that you couldn't do this, but you can. So there we go, 104. Let's grab that, throw it into here, keep our power consistent. And just as a temporary measure, let's just build power right out here. Just hook it up to anything right now, it doesn't really matter. And there we go, this should launch us up to that area. Ow. Might need to reconfigure it. I find them kind of awkward to stand on, because you have to walk into them, but then you can also move while flying. So it's like if you're walking and then you have to like let go at the exact time you hit it, basically, if that makes sense. Or you could just launch myself further. There we go. I guess you could just jump onto it. There we go. Alright, nice. Throws us pretty far. Now the problem with these things is that you land and you get pretty hurt. So that's why you have U-jelly landing. And U-jelly landing is just literally a big vat that you can fall onto that soaks up the fall damage. But it's kind of annoying. I'll show you why. We have to actually just get down real quick. I need to get 200 biomass to actually build one. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to make another one of these. We'll make it on top so we can do a sort of a double jump in a way. So we'll come up to here. Maybe we could launch ourselves over towards the concrete, right? Oh, sure. So I should maybe adjust the... Yeah, something like that. I mean, basically. It's basically bringing me to the same spot either way, isn't it? So I suppose you could do a lower push just over to there. Okay, and then we can say U-jelly, put it right there. Hook that up to power. That also needs power, by the way. And so does this, of course. Getting very lazy with my power, but like I said, once I get some stuff in the awesome shop, we'll change it just a bit. So let's jump. Well, it was almost good, okay? Don't know why I'm undershooting that arrow. I didn't move. I didn't think I did. Obviously, this power pole is slightly in the way as well. Alright. That should protect us. And to be honest, maybe one that jumps us up from here would be good. Right into the pole. Sure. Why not? Maybe right on top of it. Could we do that? Try. Alright, sweet. Let's try this. Huh. By the way, they only consume power when you actually jump on them, so they don't cost anything while they're just sitting there. Although the U-jelly does. How much does that cost? 5 megawatts. So that's the best way to do it. If you land in the center, you can't really move in here properly until your feet hit the floor. So it can feel really slow landing in the center of it and then trying to just get out. You want to just keep moving effectively, right? So let's try that one more time. Boop. Oh no, I messed up. Now I'm stuck. There we go. Nice. Anyway, it basically works. Alright, let's just grab the rest of that concrete. Let's get moving back over. Let's build our space elevator. How much smart plating do we have? 41. We need 50, I think, to actually activate the space elevator. So we're almost there. So space elevator. Got what we need. I just thought of something as well. Maybe while we're watching it get built, we'll color it. Maybe yellow and black. Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe make the yellow just slightly more orange to make it more like construction tape. Okay. So, not too sure which... There is a control panel on one side of this place. There it is. So this is the way it should face, I guess, technically. There we go. It's built on little foundations as well, because I guess it's slightly raised on a rock. That might make it look a bit weird, actually, thinking about it, yeah. Alright, we are hooked up. I absolutely love that animation. Unfortunately, though, I did build this a bit high. I don't really know what I put it on. Could just dismantle. I might move it in between. But there we go. So yeah, 50 smart plating is the first thing we'll load in, and that will advance us to the next tier. So we almost have that. What do we have, like 40 something? And like it said, we can't handcraft it. So we've got 45. Also, we have modular frames. Not really too sure what we're going to be doing with these, but I'm guessing they're going to be used in the, like, one of the immediate tiers. I'm always tempted just to throw everything I have into the awesome sink, but what I might do is, in between episodes, just, I don't know, throw a couple hundred resources into that from modular frames, reinforced plates, all of the highest tier stuff we have. And that should just get us a few coupons that we can get building with in the next ones pretty early on. Just also want to change that swatch slightly. So let's just make it a bit darker yet again, more orangey. There we go. I think it looks cool. So something else you can also do with the color picker is if you go to edit, or sorry, not edit, you can right click it and say like, okay, every time I make a wall, a pipe, foundation, whatever, I want it to use this color. So you just toggle those on, which is quite nice. You know, they've really thought of, it doesn't have every category to be fair, but they've really thought of ways to just make things a little quicker and easier rather than having to go over everything, painting everything all the time. So it's quite nice that they've done that. Let's just have a look at what does it look like on the floor. So that's what the floor would look like if you painted that yellow color. And if you want to change the entire factory, the default factory comes with this, the default foundations with this, and the default pipes with this. So you just change those three as well at the beginning. Alright, come on, do we have it? 48, we just need 2 more. 100% efficiency though, love to see it. Same with this. Oh, 98. I'm sure it's going up though every time it makes something. There should be no slowdown. It's probably because I took a bunch of stuff out of it actually. Alright. Pretty proud of this little factory, and we can even expand it just slightly more in the future because we've got one smelter that isn't doing anything. This one here. It's just backed up, it doesn't feed anywhere, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smelters in total, all making stuff, all feeding into this area pretty efficiently. I don't think there's much of a excess or fall off or mistakes being made. Could be organized to be a bit smoother, and I'd like to be able to walk around it and color it and stuff, so that'll all come with time from the awesome stuff. So how many tickets do we have now? 3 more, so we've got 6 in total. Probably need about 20 to be able to do everything I want to do, at least early on. Alright, let's get this job done. 50, there we go. Oh, it can only hold 50. Kind of interesting. Boop. Alright, we've loaded it. We'll seal it in a second. I just meant to mention, the space elevator is really the core of the game. You're feeding everything into that. It's got 3 big inputs here, and I think 3 more on the other side. I think it's actually got 9 in total. And so effectively you can like just... you want to dance, do you? We've got, oh, that actually reminds me, we should do more alien research. In fact, yeah, we'll get his body in a second. But, Yeah, 9 I think it's 9 anyway. Resources can come into here. So people that just have this place set up as the core of the center of their sort of factories, and then, you know, are constantly feeding things in so that they can load it up and seal it and send it away. Ow. This guy does take a few hits. You do get rivet guns and different things later on, by the way. Oh my god, they run away now. Can I catch him? Almost can catch him with that run and jump technique. Plasma spitter remains. Alright, we've actually got plenty of stuff to do with that. Let's just send this thing off. And there's a yellow slug up there that I want to grab, so I might just do that real quick. Also. Alright, let's seal it. Off it goes. Alright, so the next phase is we need, instead of 50 smart plates, we're gonna need 500, plus 500 of something else and 100 of something else. Let's have a quick look at this. Versatile frameworks and automated wiring. Alright, that's our next thing, but that's not what we have to do immediately. There's plenty of milestones in between that. And something we should get back up and running is our mom. So inside the mum, we've got other technologies and things we can do. Power slugs, right? So we can do this slug scanning. We have the resources for that. And now we can do overclocking. So we have to find another blue slug before we can get this one. And there's a yellow slug right up on that thing. So we can climb up there and just get that. We'll do that in a second. Maybe I'll just get the catwalks and we can just catwalk our way over. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's go, because I know I'm going to need it. Modern catwalks. 5 tickets, are you kidding me? The industrial catwalks are pretty tempting, but I think I prefer these ones. These have stairs, whereas these have ramps, so I'll go with this one. Alright, let's check out, I guess. Alright, schematics purchased. Good. Sun is setting on our Let's Play today as well, as we get to the end. So, architecture, here we go. So what does it cost? A lot of rods and plates. Just do that. We have to get up, run over there, and get out. There's a gas cloud kind of around it. I just need to get more rods. Hey, this is a ramp. Oh, there is stairs as well. Okay, cool. There's probably stairs in the other one then. And I'll just remove this once we get it. I just need to get over there. Alright, that's good enough. Let's go. What is that? By the way, I don't know. Alright, cool. So, now we can understand these, and that means when we find them in future, we can turn them into power shards for overclocking. So let's do that. So for overclocking, we have to go out and find one more, and then there's purple slugs, which I've never even seen. They're probably in places that are hard to get to. Nutrients, we still need to find some of those. Bacon agaric caps. We've just found some of this, though. Spitter research, so let's do that. And then if we have 5 of those, which we can make right now, let's just go over to our hab. Hab. And let's turn these guys into spitter protein, whatever. Hog protein. Just get that on the go. Do 6 of those. Okay, so the reason that we want to do this is because I need biomass as well, damn it. Speaking of, actually we can turn this into converting the biomass in a moment. Yeah, so let's just pick all this up. Put all the biomass in here. And turn this back to biomass. Or biofuel, rather. So there we go. Anyway, so what we can do with this is basically when we research it, we should be able to then just turn alien carcasses into biomass, should we wish. It actually gives you loads, so early on it can be quite nice to do that. But soon we'll be getting coal power, I think, anyway, so it's not going to be a big deal. We'll research this. So yeah, I'm actually not too sure what this is. Organic data capsule, and then we can get protein inhaler. Structural analysis. Structural analysis. Ah, there we go, the rebar gun. Iron rebar, so we can kind of shoot little bolts at things. So we could do that. What we need is 5 of those. 5 organic data capsules. So organic data capsules, can we make them? We can. So we just literally turn the alien protein, the hog protein, into a data capsule. It's just a 1-to-1 thing, so it's not that big of a deal. Whereas this is 3-to-1. I see. So 3 remains get turned into one of those, and then one of those gets turned into that. Now here's we just unlocked this, biomass alien protein. So 1 gets turned into 100 biomass. So it's pretty nice. But yeah, let's just make one of these. Alright, good. And then in here, we can go... So we need 5 of those, do we? Yeah, I guess that's it. So I'll have to go out and collect some animals, essentially, in between episodes. Then there's the other 2 creatures that we could get as well. So yeah, we need a bunch of those, and then we can get structural analysis, which I don't think is going to do too much for us, but will allow us to get to here. Oh man. Oh yeah, we haven't even found any hard drives yet either. There's loads of stuff to do. There's so much in the game. But we have to find, definitely have to find one more slug. And I think I've just found one. Yep. Alright, let's go get him. So, we can have a look at our other milestones now that we've unlocked 2. So now we've access to tier 3 and tier 4. So we've got coal power, which is the next thing. So we need 150 reinforced plates, 50 rotors, and 300 wire. And then we can start working on coal power, water extracting, pipelines, all of that kind of stuff. We can scan for coal, find it. So that's going to be our next thing. But after that, then we've got vehicle transport. There's where we need our modular frames, by the way. And we can set up vehicles to go between truck stations automatically, collect the coal and move it around. And then we have basic steel production. And then we're into tier 4, where it starts getting... Oh, also, here we get new awesome shop products. I think we're allowed to make steel beams and stuff like that. Not just this, but like actual steel beams that you can put in your factory. Tier 4 then, versatile frameworks, which obviously we need to get to the next tier. Anyway, yeah, so tier 4, we've got encased industrial beams, heavy modular frames, motors, stators, automated wiring, which we need. Level 2 miners, so we can double the output of what we have already. Hypertubes for getting around, and logistics, level 3. So we have quite a lot to do. So let's just go quickly for the last thing in this episode. Just gonna go grab that power slug. And then I'm going to assess the situation in between episodes, get a few new objectives set up, get some stuff in the awesome shop, and get cracking on finding some coal and moving on. So I haven't done much else with copper. I also need to find more of that. So that slug, I think, was up on the rock arch, wasn't it? Yeah, it's right over there. Oh, you can actually as well make a... That's what we just got in the MOM. Ah, damn, I should have... Actually, we can do it right now. Yes. So in our equipment workshop, we can make an object scanner, and because we've researched the slugs, we can now find them just by pulling that thing out. So let's just grab it. So we'll tune it to power slugs, and this will beep when we're close. Obviously we know there is one there, but in case we come across one closer, you know. It looks like it's kind of protected as well. Not sure the easiest way to climb up here. Oop. Heavily guarded. We want to stay away from that deep ravine as well. go. We can climb up here somewhere. Oh my god, there's one right up here. Ah. Oh, it's gas everywhere. I might have to go find some easier ones on my own, guys. Because that one's going to be a bit challenging to get to.
Your contract legally compels
Oh, leave me alone. Oh, he was low on health. I guess he took gas damage. You see the enemy or the aliens take damage like that sometimes. Let's see. Can we climb up this real quick? Architecture, ramp. Ah, it looks like I've got plenty of ramps. You need a foundation to start it, though. Okay.
Comply.
I will not comply. I don't understand. Why can't I just build it? There we go.
Breaking news from Earth. Widespread chaos and mayhem. World President urges all citizens to do their part and harvest alien artifacts.
Alright, we did it. I didn't give up. Beautiful. There's our space elevator. It's kind of ridiculous how much scenery it kind of takes up, I guess. Alright, we'll just run back, we'll analyze this, and then we'll be done for today. Quite a productive episode. I got through that objective list way quicker than I thought. We could just have a nice little run back with no UI. And as I go out exploring... Oh, there was one right there. There's one right in front of me. You can see right there. We'll pick that up. We can turn it into overclocking. Make it into power shards. Sorry. Doesn't seem too out of the way. Just need to run around the edge a bit. It's actually looking right over my whole factory. Actually, it is kind of out of the way. But I might get it in between episodes or something. It's kind of like on Pride Rock up there. Oh, this game looks great, doesn't it? I think it looks awesome. Yeah, there's one right there. You can see those little blue... It's so hard to see, I guess, especially with YouTube. But like little blue VFX kind of filtering down to it. Look like little blue droplets. Good little indication of where they are. Alrighty, so where's our thing? There it is. So, power slugs. So we need to just convert that into a power shard. So we have the slug turned into a power shard. Done. And then in here, well, we can unlock overclocking. So what that's going to allow us to do is now when we get power shards, we can go up to a machine, such as our smart plating if we wanted to right now, and we can overclock it. So you can actually underclock it if you want, reduce it all the way down, so it's going to operate way less efficiently. It'll kick in when this hits 100%. Now the power has gone down to just 0.4 megawatts. So they actually talked about this in the latest update video, which is that power isn't one-to-one with overclocking. So at 100%, oh my god, it's going to take ages as well. Can we turn it off? Turn it back on? Does that work? Okay, it's fine now. So at 100% it's 15 megawatts. You'd think that if you buff it up to 200, it would be 30 megawatts, you know, double the power. But it's not. It exponentially rises the higher the overclocking, and the same when you're underclocking, but in the opposite direction, right? So it exponentially goes really low. So you can go all the way down to like 1% production rate, but it'll be effectively free in terms of power. You know, it would be like almost no power required at all. So if you don't mind operating a really, really, really slow factory, you'll save a huge amount of power doing that. To the point where that would actually be the most efficient thing to do, really. But obviously no one's really going to want to do that, I don't think. But it's just kind of interesting. So basically that's what the goal of gathering those slugs is. You know, you get overclocking, so you can kind of tune your machines to match your production input or output. Especially when it gets to the point where you're delivering goods from other parts of the factory, it becomes less about the production limits and the cost of what you bring in. You can kind of speed machines up or slow them down just to match, you know, whatever logistics network you've got going, if that makes sense. Anyways, just thought I would explain all that. That's all pretty much done though now. So now in the next episode, I'm going to basically dump as much stuff into the fix-it machine in between and then draw up a new list of objectives. I never actually toggled this one. So let's just do that to say we did them all. There we go. Space elevator, awesome shop, the switching of power back and forth, making smart plating, making modular frames, adjusting the iron plates to be more accurate and the screws, and then moving the hub so that it's all part of the same power network, which is a good thing we did because I think we're sucking up a lot of power. Yeah, our blue line is actually over the gray line, which means we could have a trip if we're not careful. I think that's just because of the extra jump pads that I threw down as well. Alright, did quite a lot. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be back in the next one, advancing into the next tier. Coal power is on the horizon. Let me know your feedback, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support the channel directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. You'll also get exclusive access to my Discord, where there's dedicated channels for each series I'm doing, and it's a great place just to meet others and make some friends.